So we are on schedule for the floor getting done in the barn. So I am going to start digging some trenching to get water and electric back there. The flooring is not going to be started till next week, but I need to get, a 4-foot trench dug, pipe laid, and then buried again. I am inside the barn here, and I've got to go pick up the kids. But as for now, we're thinking about putting it in this first room, so I'm going to cut it in there because that's where I'm going to be doing washing stuff for milking. So I got a little bit more trenching done today. Brought in some stuff for the water and also electric going in. And then I was talking to my contractor about where I want all my water spigots to go. So I also dug around the barn to the back side. So in plotting out all of these places where the water hydrants are gonna go, I got the definites like the house and the barn, but where I'm gonna have a chicken coop in the future, or the gardens in the future, I can only kind of guess. So I've put it in a spot where I feel like it is gonna be, but the good thing is I've got an excavator. If I need to run more water lines, I can easily do that. Potentially by myself, but I'll always ask somebody who knows what they're doing. But yeah, I'm gonna put stuff where I think it's gonna be, and then hopefully I don't have to add too much later on. Yesterday, me and Luther, the guy who's building our yurt, Kingdom Homes, Idaho, get to know them, they're great builders. He started putting together all of the fittings and stuff for the water that we're running, going back to the barn and whatnot. I dug a couple more trenches. We got all the equipment, all the hoses and pipes and stuff like that. So we'll be putting those in today because we've got to get that ready for when the barn people come in and put gravel in the barn. So we've got the run that goes into the barn. That's going to stub out over there. And then we've got a roll ready to run that way to hit other hydrants. And we got it teed off here. It goes down this trench. We'll have a hydrant here. And then it goes along there. And then you can just barely see it peeking out the side of the wall right there. But there's a hydrant over there. So these are the ones we've got done so far. Now we're taking a little break and then we're gonna get back to it. We're gonna run that way. And then we've got a trench over just behind where the chickens are that we're gonna pop up another hydrant, and then we're going to cut across where the driveway is gonna be to go to the house, and that's going to have a spigot there as well and go in to feed the house. And we got just about every single spigot in that we could except for the very end one. We're gonna be back this weekend, get that done, get that covered up, because Monday electrician's coming out to run some pipe or some PVC to fish electric out to go to the barn back there, and should have everything wrapped up because on Tuesday they are coming out with gravel to start the floor for the barn. We've got a lot of dirt to move. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the tractor and start filling some of this stuff back in, and then we'll see what time we have today. I might dig another trench back to where the pump house is gonna be. The concrete is coming tomorrow. This is already ready to go. They are going to be laying down a grid of rebar and then pouring concrete tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get down here for that to see as much of it as I can. We did, I think I told you, I'm not sure. The electrician was in, he set the panel and ran all the wire from the house up there into here, and then we've got the wire stubbed up there, so that way when that's a room, we can put the water, all of that in there, since that's where I'm going to be cleaning equipment and stuff. So the concrete guys just left. Everything looks great. Little landing pad here in front of the door. on that one, and the back door gives me something to put gravel up to, which is nice. So these are the doors. They're gonna go vertical up and then be able to open to where there is bottom and a top. So that way we can keep the animals in there and then still have access to them and open up for them whenever we want. But those are the, like I said, outside doors. They're inside doing the inside stalls. But that company is Selkirk Stall Solutions. If you're here in North Idaho and you're looking for someone to do stalls, check them out. They have lots of different options too. I just kind of got the basic package until I figure out what I want to do with all of the animals. I'm thinking about maybe getting like a little separator for one of those. That way I can raise pigs and they can still go outside and have a little outside, inside access, but not be able to go out into the field with the cows. They are gone for the day, but they've got everything in except for the last door down for that last stall. I guess it was just a little bit short or long. Can't remember what, but they are going to fix that and bring it back. They got a rest of the things here to work on the rooms that I'm gonna be having built. And then they've got these doors on right here. So this will be able to open so that way we can keep the animal in there but still be able to see it from the outside. And then they'll be able to come out here. So just whenever we're trying to keep one inside will be best. So I went on a run this morning to get some livestock paneling. You can kind of see that behind me. While I was out, the stall guys were here and getting to work. So I'll show you all the stuff I got and what they're doing. Oh, I got in here a lot of the 12-foot panels. One of them is a 6-foot walk-through and then a 6-foot thing there. So I'm gonna have like 3,600 square foot of outdoor space for the animals just for overwintering. And then of course I'll make the paddocks in the spring. And then I've also got some feeders in here. Those are able to compact down into smaller feeders if need be, for when the straw gets down. You can compact it so it's easier to get for the animals. So the doors here, the top one is going to open from the outside. So that way you can have this open. You still got your animal in there. They're not able to get out, but they can still get airflow and stuff. And then the other one opens from the inside, and then you can just have them both open if you need to. And then they've got all that space in there. So I've got all those panels up, and as you can see, the feeder kind of collapses in on itself to create two smaller feeders, which I'll probably keep it smaller because I've got the goats, and I mean the cow will be able to get it regardless, but the goats might need a little help getting to it. They'll probably go underneath, but it's meant to fold in or expand and be bigger. But we're debating whether or not this is going to be enough room for over the winter. I might buy a couple more panels to extend it out, but we'll get them in there and see what it looks like. As you can see behind me, they've got wall on here with this nice cedar tongue and groove. Doors are in. Can't show you the inside of the rooms right now just because they are really dark in there. There's no electricity yet, but we did get the light fixtures delivered today, so those will be going in soon with the electrician. I'm gonna put in some plywood up against the walls, known as a kick plate, so that way any of the cows, goats, whatever's in there isn't able to like kick and rip open the insulation. So it's just gonna be a thin plywood on there. So for this part, I had to just measure it because it's a little bit weird because part of it's concrete, part of it's wood. So it varies a little bit. So I'm just gonna take the narrowest spot and I'll make sure that it works out. So it kind of fits, but it does its job. It doesn't have to look pretty. There's gonna be animals in there. So I'm not too worried. So that's basically the extent of what I need done. I did go and get a couple more of the panels, like I said, for this. Extended it out that way, a couple panels. You can see I went and got some bedding, some straw bedding, and some food to last a while. And that is because we are getting 2 Highlands cows. It was just a happenstance thing. Someone was looking to downsize their herd in the local area. I found out about it, went over, looked at them, we talked about it, and we're getting 2 Highlands. So they are normal size, they're not the minis. I know minis are kind of the craze right now, but they're like maybe 4 foot tall. They're like barely, don't even come up to my chest. They're on the small side, I think. So looking forward to that. One's ready to breed. We're gonna get her going. The other one's gonna be ready in like 6 months. So we're gonna be starting off our Highland breeding program sooner than I thought. You might be able to hear them. I'm on the side of the road, but just picked up the cows. Let's see if we can get a glimpse. They are on the property now, adjusting to their new place, eating. I have not introduced them to our animals yet, May and the goats. Figure I'll give it a couple days, that way they kind of get used to the other ones being around, and hopefully there's not as much strife when I do introduce them to each other. So the red one is named Gertie, and the yellow one is Bonnie. Gertie is 3 years old, Bonnie is 2.5. We are going to be looking into getting Gertie impregnated soon, and then Bonnie will follow suit in a couple months. Well, Maycow, first night with the new ladies on the property. How you feeling? You doing all right? Yeah. She was sitting right here when I came in, and the cows are right there. So she was keeping an eye on them. I think they'll get along just fine. Ladies, how was it? First night? They're eating a bunch of the hay and enjoying their space. And the Highlands have made it inside. They were a little bit hesitant when I first got them here to come inside, but I got them buckets full of grain and they're loving it. They get to come inside out of the elements in the barn, and then soon we will have the doors put on, and then it'll be really nice in here. So the electricians were here and got, let's see if we can get it. Yeah, we start seeing some of the lights that are hung up. They're working in that room on the panel. So they're still putting that front door on, but the back one just straight up black to kind of match the barn, which is cool. I thought it was gonna be white. I like this better than having a white garage door. So here's the inside with all the lights on. There are the two rooms. Here is the first room, one that we're gonna be having the, like cleaning the milk stuff in. I'll show you this one room here. This is gonna be kind of like a storage kind of area. We've got the panel there, the electric, just basic, you know, wood paneling for the walls and stuff. I'm going to simplify things and get our other cow and goats into the same area so that way they can access the barn. So let's hope everything goes smoothly. So the plan is, got a bucket of grain. I'm going to open the gate for them over there, open up one of these here while Lindsay feeds the Highlands some bread, and hopefully the Highlands don't try to get out. Goats. Goats. There we go. That was the least stressful, high stressful situation I've had in a while. May is still acting a little jumpish, a little skittish, which we'll see how they do. Make sure they get lots of food, lots of water, and hopefully they start getting along well. Oh, they're just getting all excited.
They're excited about each other. It's like new kids in a class.
Yeah.
Look it! May, you've got friends! Look at me.
So kind of as I expected, the goats found their way underneath of the new panels and found a way out. So I've got to go shut the front gate just to make sure they don't get off the property. They're starting to realize they should go there. I think this is gonna be a losing battle. I'm not getting the goats back in right now. I just put them back in their old area. So for now, that's where they'll stay. On the bright side, they finished the front garage door. So that thing looks beautiful. Excited to see it. And I think they're working on motors and stuff in there, getting everything squared up and ready to go. So I'm super excited about that. Garage door guys are done. They're headed out of here. They hooked up to an extension cord. Things are working great. They're gonna come back once we have electrical done, just tweak some things. But yeah, thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.